Welcome back everyone, I hope you're all having a great day. In today's video, we're going to be getting into a Bitcoin technical analysis. We're also going to be taking a look at some of our favorite altcoins, Chainlink and Ethereum. I want to share with you my thoughts on the general momentum behind the price action, such as the RSI we looked at yesterday, giving us some bullish divergences on the high time frames, offering up some very nice longing opportunities to the upside. We're also going to speak about some potential lower time frame momentum right now, right at resistance, and the levels that we need to surpass to kind of avoid those taking over and for us to continue to play out the bullish divergences. We're going to talk about support regions, resistances, so make sure that you stay tuned. It's going to be an extremely important update, and without any further ado, let's get right into it. So starting off here on the 12-hour time frame, we can see some bullish divergences being built on the RSI. Now, yesterday we spoke about these two hammer candles, consecutive hammer candles, showing us at least some buy pressure was going on here. Add that with the fact that we had some bullish divergences on the 12-hour time frame, we were going to look for a confirmation of that bullish divergence to give us a trade to the upside. Now, of course, since we did come to the lower side of the range with no volume confirmation to the downside, we were not looking for shorts. We were looking for long opportunities at the bottom, similar to looking for short opportunities at the top of the range until we do get that volume confirmation coming in. So either way, the bullish divergence was very nice because we didn't see any bearish volume come in. We actually indeed saw these two hammer candles, and what we said that once we close above the wick high of this, and especially the S1 resistance here, that is going to offer up some nice short, kind of quick longing opportunities to the upside. So as we can see right here, we did close above that S1. We closed above the high as well. So as a more aggressive trade, you'd be looking at those highs, let's say about 11% to the upside. And right here on the retest of the S1, so what happens to broken resistance? It often becomes support, and the S1 here is a very nice area, which we did end up breaking up about 8.5%. Now, ultimately, I was looking at this weekly pivot as the first area. We did stop here on the lower time frames, as you can see, kind of came down a little bit, closed back below it, but then ultimately did regain it and now moving up. So it's very, very important, guys, that we actually surpass now the area that we were looking for shorts originally, right? So if you look at this right here, we actually did come down from the break of the triangle. We came down and created a lower low, then came back up here and created a lower high right at the bearish order block. So this is the area that we were looking for nice shorting opportunities, since it was a breakdown point and also the order block right here. And we did end up coming down about 18%. Now we've actually reached this resistance once again, and where have we stopped? Right at that order block. So we need to start breaking above this order block, and especially the R1 above it, the weekly R1 at $38,478. If we can do that, then I do think that we're going to be giving a solid go at these highs, and then we're going to have to wait for the volume confirmation to give us a trade to the upside. However, even if we look at this S1 here, what's the general target after we break above the S1 and actually retest the S1 and the horizontal we've had on our chart for a while now? We can see that that is just simply a very low risk long or buying opportunity, because you've broken above resistance, you've retested as support, so your stop loss goes, let's say, even 1% below this support region, for example. Of course, you want to be looking for actual technical levels to be putting your stop loss, but just as an example, below the support region, we would be looking for, 1% stop loss and an 8% gain here, even the first take profit at the weekly pivot. That is ultimately very, very nice. Now we're right at the bearish control. Now we're right at the bearish order block, with the 1 hour stochastic, for example, starting to potentially come down. The 2 hour, very similar here as well. So definitely starting to come down here as well. And also the 3 hour and the 4 hour may follow through with that soon. The only way this isn't going to happen is if we start to, or if we continue to ride that high time frame momentum, because remember that we have bullish divergences on the 12 hour and also the 1 day right now. So if we go on to the 1 day, we have some bullish divergences here, and we have held support. So on the 1 day time frame, I actually want to see a reclaim of the 21 EMA, right? Because we've already played out quite a good bit of this bullish divergence. And if we look at this, I know there's a lot of people talking about a descending triangle. To be honest, I wouldn't be looking at this as a descending triangle. It's simply a horizontal range. We don't need to be looking for more patterns when a pattern fails. I wouldn't say that the triangle failed, because we had multiple touches at the highs and at the lows, bringing us some nice trading opportunities. However, very simply, guys, looking at the 21 exponential moving average on the daily time frame, that is a region we need to get above. If we can get above there, then I think that this daily bullish divergence is going to give us a lot more to play with. I think that we're going to be easily working our way back up to the higher side of the range, which would be the 200 EMA, the 200 SMA, and our big resistance based on a higher time frame, the monthly pivot. So that is the region we need to get above. That is what I would be looking at right now. Otherwise, just trading this current channel that we're in and this current horizontal region that we are in. So my last trading opportunity, maybe I can actually show you guys this here and go over here. Yeah, let's see. So right here, I had an entry off about $32,970 and closing some at $37,078. So near that bearish order block. Now, why is the reason that I actually entered here? Because I saw lower time frame momentum. But by the time I had uploaded my video and by the time we had really spoke about this, you can see that we had already bounced up from this critical support region. We were actually looking at buys at the weekly S3, guys, at $31,000. Literally at the exact lows is where we're targeting buy positions. At the weekly S3, at the 1 day. If we go onto the 1 day, that is our monthly S1, and also on the lower time frames, we had the daily S3. So a lot of confluence there. But ultimately, I was not awake at that point, so I ended up getting into that on the lower time frame momentum once we started to bounce to the upside. And as we can look at that, that ended up being pretty good because the kind of confirmations I spoke about with you guys for a trade was the 12-hour bullish divergence to confirm, and also a break above the S1. So as long as we actually broke above this S1, that was a trade either way. So point is, if you miss a trade down here, you can get in up here if the trend tells you and if the momentum tells you. And if you miss a trade up here, you can always get in up here on the retest of the S1. Remember that the market is always here. Your account is not always going to be here. So you want to really be picking only the absolute best trades. So on the retest of the S1, your general target is going to be the pivot. You're going to get profit takers coming in. You're going to get counter traders coming in. So I like how we hit the pivot here of about 5%. That would be take profit 1. And now coming up to the bearish order block, hitting it perfectly, take profit 2. And can we surpass this now? We're definitely going to have to break these highs and definitely watch very closely. You can see I've got a alert right below that R1 here. We might even pull that down a little bit because I want to see we'll actually pull this down all the way to the highs here. So if we go for those highs, we want to be aware of it. We want to be on our charts wherever we are, and yeah, that's what I would be looking at. And I'm going to set one a little bit lower here as well, and the reason for this is just on a 200 exponential moving average and right below the weekly pivot. So we want to see what sort of reaction we have there. To be honest, if I was not in a trade right now, I wouldn't actually be taking a trade unless we were to go back into the bearish order block and offer up a nice shorting opportunity as a scalp. Only if it were to confirm, take out these highs, maybe come back below. Then I would be targeting a short down to the daily pivot down here at 35,800. If that does not happen though, we can definitely push higher inside of the range, but we would need confirmed closures above the daily R1. So as far as the high time frames go, guys, nothing has changed for me. I've been saying the same thing every single day here to you guys. The horizontal ranges are still the same as to the range that we broke into back in January. Our major resistance here is at $42,000. That is where we stopped on our massive bounce from $30,000, because that is the top of the range back in January 2021 that we broke to the upside. Now finding acceptance back into it, that is your resistance. And the support region is still down here at the $29,250 level. Until these supports and resistances are broken, my thoughts on the high time frames have not changed. We do have a daily bullish divergence right now that could potentially give us some nice entries or nice continuation here, since we have already entered. But overall, we still need to get above at least a low period exponential moving averages. We have not done that just yet. So the 21 EMA, 38,128 would be a good start. Some open and closures above there, move up to the 200 EMA and the monthly pivot. So now that is done, let's move on to LinkUSD. LinkUSDT maybe, let's take a look at that. So LinkUSDT, this is actually our macro pitchfork. I have not looked at this chart with you guys in a while. So if you remember, we were trading this macro pitchfork. We came right to the bottom of the macro pitchfork, ended up breaking the median, giving us a very nice retest off that median and a continuation drive from around $17. So we did move up here, but now we've ultimately come back to the median of the range. We've even hit the 618 off the macro pitchfork. This is why they're important to keep on your chart, because on this big move down, we had an order block and also the 618 off the macro pitchfork, giving you two pieces of confluence for a nice trading opportunity. So for Chainlink, I did say that my first area of interest was these lows at 30th of May and then down here at the S1. So it looks like we've actually come down and nearly tested that S1, bouncing on the median of the pitchfork. So I do like this as a range still as well. We haven't really seen a break to the downside. We said when we were basically, I believe, like around $29 that this did look more bearish than the other altcoins. And that has come down a few percentages since then. But either way, it's still inside of the range. So if we don't see a break of that range and that bullish order block that we spoke about in yesterday's video as well, and these lows, which are in confluence, then ultimately we're not going to be looking for another major move down. Now, Chainlink also has a very similar read to Bitcoin here, and it would suggest on the VIX that we could be breaking sometime at the end of June. And it's interesting because Bitcoin's one actually suggests that sometime kind of start of July or mid-July we could be getting a break. So that would be very, very nice. For example, if we were to get above the monthly pivot here with volatility increase and volume increase, since our volume is still declining as well, then I would be actually looking for a break much higher. If we were to break the lows, then a break much lower, at the very least to the S2, would be possible, guys. So if we look at this declining volume, we can basically, it's telling us that sometime mid-June we should be seeing a break, which does actually coincide kind of with this volatility index. So I do like that as well. S1, massive support at 1885. Definitely will have to hold that one. Let's move on to Ethereum USD. Ethereum USD, I still wanted to see it get above this anchored VWAP and the monthly pivot. If we do get above there, I'd be interested in longs, and I do think that would be potentially a reversal in play. If we look at Ethereum here, this is the last breakdown point, bit of a base we built before moving up and then coming back down to it and breaking it. So 3,240 is also a very important level for Ethereum. We can see we are still inside of this range at the current moment in time. Our bullish order block does sit right below where we stopped on the 23rd of May. That would be the critical support. Since the S1 and the order block have not broken, I've got really no problems with this as well. So that's about it from me, guys. This is basically, we've spoken about most of the things that we need to speak about over the last few days. I mean, Ethereum and Chainlink, the same charts, Bitcoin, the same chart. We're inside of the range. It's more or less just trading the lower time frames. I don't like my videos being repetitive, but you guys do like kind of updates every single morning or every single day. So I like to get them out to you and speak about some new things on the charts. For example, the absolutely fantastic trade that we had yesterday on the longs as well, and some nice short position opportunities that have come inside of the range over the last week as well. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I appreciate your time. Go ahead and leave a like on the video if you haven't already. I would very much appreciate it. And if you would like to join the private technical analysis group, go ahead and send me a message on Discord and I will send you all of the required information. So have a lovely rest of your day once again, and I will catch you in tomorrow's video.